Hey guys, what's going on? SpitBrix here, back for another LEGO Ninjago video, and today we're going to be comparing the brand new LEGO Ninjago Legacy sets for 2021 to their original sets in which they're based off of. Most of these original sets came out in 2014 or 2015, so we'll be comparing to see how the builds have changed within this time period. Also, if you guys go on to enjoy this video, please let me know with a like rating down below. Let's try and reach 4,000 likes. Alright, we're going to be covering every single Legacy set, including a polybag, so stick around for the entire video, and let's get started. The first 2021 Ninjago Legacy set in which we will be looking at in this video is Zane's Titan Mech Battle. This is a $60 set and does have 4 minifigures in it. In it we get a very large mech of Zane's mech itself and pretty much nothing else, but if you compare that to the original set, the Titan Mech Battle, you'll notice that we have 2 separate mechs, but yet they're on a smaller scale. There's less pieces in both, but interestingly, this is also a $60 set, and so this original set as well as the new one are the exact same price point. It's just that the new one has all of those pieces put into one very large mech instead of 2. When placing these mechs side by side, we can see some significant differences between the old and new versions of Zane's mech here. Other than the size, it's also apparent that there are a lot of different pieces used on this new one. You'll notice that over on his left hand, he's actually got a saw blade now, and the stud shooters on the original mech are now those spring-loaded missiles on the very top. There's also a different shoulder pad armor for the mech itself. There are not anymore those silver spinner crowns, but rather a very large brick-built shoulder pad piece. Comparing these two mechs at a different angle, you can really see the amount of extra bricks that this new version has, and I really like this new version just because of how much detail they were able to add by including so many more pieces on top of it. In my opinion, it almost looks most similar to Lloyd's Titan Mech back from Season 11. They seem to have a similar scale to them, as well as having the same saw blade on the left arm of the mech. Now there's also this brand new polybag that was just revealed. It's the Titanium Mini Mech, which looks a lot like just a super small scale Titan Mech, at least in my eyes. There's also a 2-in-1 build. The second build is the Titanium Dragon, just on a very small micro scale. Next up, let's check out the 2021 remake of the Boulder Blaster set, in which you can see in front of you right now. This will be a $40 set, and of course the original version came out in 2015, in which you can see this one in front of you as well. Now, the main differences between these two is just the extra added bricks. There's about 100 pieces, give or take, added onto the new one, and whenever you look at them side by side with the box images right here, you don't see too many differences right off the bat until you take a look from a different angle and see that there is a lot of extra bricks kind of on the bottom side of this build, especially around the wings in the very back. It's not just one long wing piece that sticks out with a few bricks on top, but rather it is a very sturdy piece with bricks layered on top of each other. You'll also notice the front of the build has some extra details attached to it, and of course the piece that a lot of people have been pointing out that they really like is the cockpit piece for this Boulder Blaster, in which I think that is brand new for this set in particular. Now, this original Boulder Blaster that came out in 2015 had one of my favorite stickers in any LEGO set. I know stickers aren't usually a very popular item, but I really liked that sticker on the very top of it that had Cole's emblem with the wings coming out. I always thought that was a really cool logo attached to this set. And on the new one, well, there's no place anymore for that sticker, but you'll notice on the back wing that there appears to be some sort of wing design, which is probably taking inspiration from that original sticker in the 2015 set. Next up is the X1 Ninja Charger, in which the new remake for 2021 has 599 pieces and retails for $50 US, while the original one back from 2014, the rebooted season of Ninjago, had 426 pieces and retails for $40. When placing these two sets side by side, you'll immediately notice that the designer that created the new version of this X1 Ninja Charger really tried to go for a more sleek look on the very front of the car, as well as the cockpit is really pushed back. You can actually see the motor build in this new version, which obviously is quite different than the original one, in which the motor appears to be on the back half of the car. So within these years, Kai has done a little bit of tinkering with his X1 Ninja Charger, I guess, and decided to put the engine in a different place or something. The new one, however, has been decked out with some crazy firepower on the very back with 2 missile launchers, so at least that's an interesting play feature that they added in. Now, in case you didn't know, there's actually a feature with the X1 Ninja Charger in which you can launch out sort of a mini vehicle or like a motorbike out to kind of escape from wherever Kai may be. And here are the two different ones, and this is definitely where the original one stands out even more than the new version. It just looks like a better bike in my opinion. Even though it's more of a simple looking build, I think it looks more finished and complete. Up next is perhaps the most popular set of this Ninjago Legacy line for 2021. This is the Tournament of Elements set here, in which this is going to be around a $30 set, but it comes with 7 minifigures, which is absolutely insane. Now, these minifigures are definitely going to be the draw to this set in general. You guys can see all of them on screen right now. Now, if you compare this to what set it's kind of, getting inspiration from, that would be the Dojo Showdown set from the Tournament of Elements season. Now, this was a $20 set back in 2015, and it came with 4 minifigures. Now, obviously, the 2 main minifigures in this set that everybody wanted was Griffin Turner and Karloff, the 2 elemental masters, which you guys can see in the middle of these minifigures here. I find it really interesting that if you place these 2 sets side by side, you'll notice that the new version places a lot more emphasis on the actual design of the dojo itself, rather than the ninja training obstacles that are around it, such as, dodging the spikes or being careful of the fire pit down below. If you compare the actual builds to each other, you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. The new version over on the right is really just the dojo build, which isn't a bad build at all. In fact, it looks better than the original one. I really like the aesthetic of it, but the original one had a lot of different training functions, right? There's a little ninja training outpost over on the left. There was a little chain that you could swing on. There was also these steps that had spikes around them, as well as a fire pit down below. There was just a lot more, I guess, added to it that would make it more like a battle or some sort of obstacle course in that aspect. Now, by no means does that mean that I don't like this 2021 set. I would definitely be buying it whenever it is officially released. I think that overall the 7 minifigures are fantastic, and the build itself is very good as well, just very different to the original one. Alright, so we also have pictures of Jay's Electrum Mech here, and then hold on for a second because we will be checking out some of the epic battle sets, because there are a few sets that Ninjago has put out in the past that are kind of similar to some of the builds in those sets, so stay tuned for that. We'll go through this one pretty fast because it's a junior set, it's a 4+ set, so obviously it's going to look very different compared to the old version of the Electrum Mech, which had 153 pieces. This is a $15 set, and probably still to this day the best $15 set that LEGO Ninjago has ever released, at least in my opinion. This was a really solid set, and I knew going into this that since they were making a remake of the Electrum Mech, it was going to be very hard to beat this one. I mean, other than if they made it a larger mech, which they didn't because they made it a 4+ set, a junior set, so even less pieces, very clunky looking. It's not meant for every single LEGO fan, it's targeted towards the younger demographic. Interestingly enough, even though it is a junior set, LEGO did not just completely abandon this original version completely. You'll see the 2 little circular tiles on either side of the mech on the front of it. But the one thing that stuck out to me the most is that the original Electro Mech, the name of the set, Electro Mech, is just 1 word. But the new one, apparently it's 2 words now, so that was kind of interesting. You'd think that maybe they'd name it the same among the 2 sets, but I guess they decided to change it and put a space in between. Alright, now let's go ahead and check out these epic battle sets, because there's 2 in particular that I want to check out in this video. The first one here is Cole versus Ghost Warrior. So if we look at the little piece that comes in this set over on the right is the new version, you'll notice that it is a sort of shrine from the Possession season of Ninjago. It has sort of like a spooky possessed lantern alongside of it, and we've seen a lot of shrines like this before in previous sets for the Possession season. The one over on the left in particular comes from Jaywalker 1, that set that came out back in the day, and so honestly they're taking inspiration from previous seasons and previous builds, using the same sort of colors as well, which I appreciate. And the second one is Jay versus Serpentine, because if you look at this Serpentine shrine over on the right that comes in this new set, it resembles a lot of those shrines in which we got back in 2012, such as the Venomari shrine over on the left. Now, the one thing that LEGO had the perfect opportunity to do, but missed out on it, is including a Serpentine staff in this set. They could have very easily created, or just even included the original piece of the Hypnobrai staff for Ratla there, and then included it on the shrine. There's even a 1x2 jumper plate right there, in which it would be perfect to put one of those Hypnobrai staffs. In fact, that Hypnobrai shrine is actually from Kai's Bike Cycle, a 2012 set, in which it also came with Ratla. I mean, I think LEGO really missed out here on including this piece. It just would have been, I think, a great addition, and really, I'm not sure how they missed it. And that's going to conclude today's video comparing the old versus new versions of these Legacy 2021 sets. Let me know down below with a comment, are the old sets or new sets better in your opinion? Let me know. Leave a like if you guys did enjoy. Check out more videos on screen right now. And as always, I'm SpitBrix, and I'll see you guys in the next video coming very soon.